Good evening. I'm in the vehicle again. Apologies for the lighting. I will respond quickly. I do have to first. You brought up the others in your post, and because this is a public forum, I don't want to put anything out there that may be misconstrued, and I also don't want to start anything too contentious here, but I do have to respond to something that happened off 842 the other evening, which were the text messages, and I have to address that. I certainly don't want to. I'm not trying to start a fight, but I think that there was yes, a degree of truth to the things you were saying. Absolutely. But I think there was a higher degree of maybe unnecessariness or even inappropriateness. I honestly chalked it up to you being in a mood. And that mood no longer applies because you seem fine now. But yeah, I didn't think it was a very appropriate lecture to be giving, and it's obviously a very, I don't know, specific situation or sensitive situation. But I'm aware of my disposition in this regard, and I'm also aware of my position or lack thereof, and a lot of that was just sort of how things fell, and I suppose a little bit of it was a conscious choice. But it is what it is, and it's I don't know that it's for you to be I guess judging is what you're doing. That situation. You can only control yourself, I guess is it. And it will do you no good and only harm to be frustrated with my take on that. Anyway, so that's it. Over, said, and done. I'm not upset about it, but I did want to bring it up. I have an agenda written down as well, so I don't forget to talk about things. That was the first one. The second one, briefly, was, yes, I was in a wedding in Albany, as I mentioned in my last post, and the wedding went fine. It was a Catholic wedding. Couple of comical things from the wedding was, one, Rachel, who is not Catholic, the whole wedding party, in fact, I'm sorry, the whole congregation of the Mass, the wedding Mass, because that's what it was offered communion. And Rachel, not being Catholic, but being the first person in the wedding party as the maid of honor to be offered it, just sort of awkwardly shook her head and sat down. Even though they were told it was fine to refuse, she got very awkward about it at the last minute, and everybody else took it, including the Jewish guy. So there was a Jewish groomsman who sullied the Catholic tradition, where they actually are not supposed to be giving communion to non-Catholics or something like that. Obviously, I don't give a shit. I did not go up and take communion because I don't give a fuck. Other thing was, you said, did Rachel look beautiful? Yes, so much so, in fact, that the woman sitting in front of me noticed I was alone, and at some point, maybe because I was taking pictures of the wedding party, said, "Are you with someone in the wedding party?" And I said, "Oh, why, of course, why, yes, I am with the most beautiful bridesmaid, the maid of honor," being a little bit, wry. And this woman was like, "Wow, you tell her that Aunt Janice's friend Marianne says that she will be the most beautiful bride, and if she gets married here in Albany," which, why would we? This woman was making weird assumptions about where we were from and whatnot. "She should do it here and this and that and the other, and you gotta basically she was saying, you gotta lock that shit down. Lock that shit down." But luckily that was the only person who said anything about us getting married the whole time. So pressure's off. Last thing I'll do briefly, in response to your IKEA thing, it's a cheap furniture store. It's Swedish, and they have a cafeteria that sells Swedish meatballs in it, and that's why I enjoy going. But it's inexpensive. It's varying lines of quality. It usually looks nice and modern, which I like, but you do have to be careful because you might get some piece of shit. Which I did get a piece of shit bed that was not good for the banging, which I eventually trashed and got a different bed from them, which is fine. So that's pretty much IKEA. But yeah, go to their website. You'll get the picture. Assembly required. That's why things are cheap. You have to put everything together. They have no like option for assembly. You put everything together. For the most part. Even couches in some cases. I put my couch together. But I have IKEA furniture. Come visit and you'll see it. I don't think I had it when you came last time. That's all.